sign in method. What I also did is in my pod file, I added pod, the pod for Google sign in. So I've done that already, and I've run pod install on that, and it went ahead and installed all the dependencies for the Google sign in. We go back to our app. Now, currently this is as we left it. What we want to do, I really like the way Let's Build This App did it, because I have to say, I went through the process 3 times, and each time I felt like I did something wrong. First thing I would do is create the button. And the way you create the button, add just the view. So we're going to just add the view here. I'm just going to resize that to what I think the button size should be. That seems about right to me. And I'm just going to do some auto sizing. And this will be considered our Google sign-in button. So what we have to do is we have to change the class on this button to the GID sign-in button. Let's see what happens. So as you see, the sign-in button appears now, and there's some maybe formatting issues, but we don't care about that right now. But when we select it, we have this issue. Okay, so first what we want to do, if we go back to the Google instructions, we've done this. We have to import the header files. So we have to import the header files on the app delegate as well as our view controller. So let's do that. So we're just going to go import Google sign in. And then we're going to do the same thing for our view controller, which is going to be our login. Import Google sign in. There we go. So that will satisfy that. So let's go and look back at the instructions, and we implemented that and we implemented that. Another thing that I've done ahead of time was this part of step 2, add the URL. So the way you do that, so what we want to do in order to add this to our URL schema is we're going to go to our Google Services Info playlist or plist. This item here, the reverse client ID, you just basically double click it and copy that information. Then you just go back into your app, scroll down to URL types, and just paste it in here, and then that's it. So let's go back to the instructions again. So the next part, we have to, for our app delegate Swift file, we have to add this. So let's go ahead and just copy this and add it in there. So let's go here, our app delegate, and just copy that information here. And it's going to yell at us right now because we have to do some protocols, but let's continue with the next part. So in our app delegate, our did finish launching with options method, we're going to configure the Fire app object and set the sign in. This doesn't really make sense to me, and I hate that I can't explain this a lot better for you guys, but you know, I'm at a loss really. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just add that. So our app did finish launching with options, right? Just make sure that those things match. So application did finish launching with options method. So this is here. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and after we app config, then we want to go ahead and add that. So let's do that. So we've added that part. Then we're going to say then they're asking us to implement on the open URL options method of your app delegate, the method should call the open URL. Now, here's the thing. This here, I have questions because one, why the hell are there two close brackets here? This messed me up the first time because I got rid of it, then I came back and I thought, okay, well, let me put it in. So what I would say, let's just go ahead and try to manually add this. So in our implement the open URL. So actually, no, let's go and actually see if we can just add our protocols. So we're gonna command into here, and we see that we have this as a protocol that we have to implement in order to use this. So UI disconnect with user ID, finish user. So let's keep that off right now, just because it says optional. Let's make this as simple as possible. Okay. So let's go back to our app. Our app delegate. And I'm just going to put this at the bottom for simplicity's sake. And let's go ahead and just do that and get rid of this public here. So we've added that, and let's actually go down to 5. So our did sign in for, we've implemented that. Our did sign in for is here. So this is where it handles the sign in, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Actually, just copy this whole thing and just paste it. So let's go back to our method, and we're just going to paste everything in there. And we're going to get rid of eek. Let's redo that. Okay, so what we're going to do is just get rid of this. This is duplicated line. This is duplicated as well. So as with the other pieces that we do, we're just going to print the error, right? And let's do localized description. So here we're actually creating the credentials. And what we want to do at this point is sign in. And we're going to handle this. So we're going to do a to do here. Sign in. Right? So sign into Firebase. So we're going to do FIR auth dot sign in with credentials. And we have our credentials here that we just copied and paste. And we've done this a million times. If error if let error is equal to error, just so you can see that that's just something I made up. Error, not made up, but a variable. Then we're going to just print our error and dot localize description of it, and we're going to return. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to print Firebase login successful. Okay, so let's handle that up here too. It said that Google print Google login successful. Okay, so if we get past this, then we've logged into Google successfully. If we get past this, so once we use the credentials that we got from the Google login, then we've logged into, and then we try to log into Firebase, we can consider that login also successful. Okay, let's see. Now we should still get some errors because we haven't gone through everything for this. So what we've done is we've done this piece. We haven't actually done anything on our view controller for our button. So we have to do that next. So let's go. What we need to do is let's do it here. So let's do function application. Open URL. There we go. And then we have to return this. Now this is going to yell at me for a couple of reasons. One, for the handle URL. So let's go and do that. So as you see, like I said, the handle URL, that is going to need to be replaced. It has been renamed to just handle URL. Source options, and let me just close some of this stuff up just to get a better view of everything. There we go. So we're going to handle URL. Source options as UI source options, annotations. This is just all over the place. A string. Okay. Okay. So now we've done this piece. Let's see if what this is telling me is correct. So I'm just going to comment this out and try to function sign in GID signal disconnect user with Google. So why did it, if this is the same, because it looks like it is. Okay. So that should be good. So let's see what errors we get now if we play it. Oh. Let's try this again. So let's try to sign in, and we're getting this error. Let's see what it is. Okay, the UI delegate must either be a UI view controller or implement the sign in present view controller. Okay, so that just means we need to do a GID sign in delegate on our view controller. So let's actually go into our login where we have our button, and we actually have instruction here to do that. So let's go. Let's see, where's our instructions? Here it is. So in our sign in view controller, implement the GID sign in UI delegate protocol. So first, let's just go ahead and add this to our header. Let's see. There we go. What else is it saying that we need to do after that? So let's skip to 6 and hope that everything works perfectly in the steps above. Optionally, so when I see this word, it says to skip for now. So we've actually added the button, and we need to add a variable to the button, right? So let's go to, since we didn't do it programmatically, we'll have to actually go to our storyboard. And let's do our split screen for our login. And this hidden thing is our button. Yep. Let's select this. Let's switch to automatic. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. So let's go ahead and add our button outlet here. And we're just going to say Google sign in button. Connect. All right. Looking good. Okay, let's go back up to our instructions. Connect the button. We did that. Customize the button. In the did sign in function method. So now we need to set up the authentication, which I believe we already did. So let's just copy this. So let's go back to our view controller and make sure that these are different. So my app sign in delegate, UI sign in delegate. Okay, well, whatever. So we're just going to, now that we have all that information, we're going to use that to sign into Firebase. So just copy this. Okay, so I forgot to add this piece to our view controller. So on view did load, let's add that. Let's see if that changes anything. So I'm going to change this up, options, UI application, open URL, with option key dot annotations. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and add Firebase also here, Firebase auth.sign in with credentials. We set the credentials here. And we're going to print the error as usual. Oops. There we go. So now that what we've done is basically we've signed into Google, and then once we've successfully signed into Google, we attempt to sign into Firebase, and what we should receive is 2 notifications. So our Google login was successful and our Firebase login was successful. So if we go ahead and play this. Okay, so let's try to log in with our, oops. What I wanted to do is go home, but I haven't actually set where home is. So let home PVC equal root controller, root page view controller. And then let's say self dot present view controller home PVC true nil. So boom, I confused myself. This is literally the part that I got stuck at and had to keep doing over and over again. So yeah, that's how we do it. And then we have to set up this sign out button. But dag nabbit, if I didn't. So yeah. So that's the Google sign in. Very tedious. Really took me through the ringer because of me not following the steps or me wanting to understand more fully. I will hopefully finish this. I will get this edited down to something that looks great, and we'll do the log out button and things like that. Subscribe. I really hate the fact that I'm posting this because I struggle so hard with it, but I promise it's going to get better. You guys just have to stick around. And yeah, this was definitely, if you don't necessarily want Google sign in, I wouldn't even say do it. I like the way Google sign in is easy for me because no one wants to go through the sign in process. So this is a really good alternative for that. So our next video will be me fighting through Facebook sign in. I am honored that you decided to watch. I'm not sure how much of this you're going to watch because I definitely struggled through it. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you've had issues with this. Let me know if there's something I could do better. There's a different way to do this because this one, I didn't have enough time to really learn each part of it like I try to do with most things. And it definitely took me a lot longer than I thought it would take me to do this. But it's definitely good to go through, and next time I'll look out for things like that.